Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction for you guys. Today, guys, we are reacting to Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. Of course, the beginning of the end, the beginning of this trilogy of films ending the Tomorrowverse. I've been saying since when they announced this that this is too early, and even though they said, well, it's actually the beginning of the end of the Tomorrowverse and we're doing 3 movies, regardless, this is too soon. This is too soon because I feel like the Tomorrowverse had potential, and I feel like a lot of the films have been underwhelming. They've been solid-ish, but they could have been so much better. Like, some films I think really stood out in terms of the first Superman film in the new continuity. I feel like, even though it's a short, I feel like the House of Mystery Constantine, because I believe that's going to tie into this. I believe. Because I feel like the new 52 era of films, and of course just like Dark Apocalypse War and the timeline reset, I feel like that's going to tie into these Crisis films. I feel like it's all going to tie in. Also, I think the Justice Society film, where Flash goes back in time or whatever, he actually goes to another Earth as well. That movie was actually pretty solid, and a couple others like Batman: The Long Halloween and everything was pretty good in my opinion. But a lot of the projects have been kind of okay, so I don't know. I feel like this is too soon. We're going to dive in here. We're going to see what happens in part 1. They're ending the continuity. I'm guessing that's because of the DCU coming, and they have other plans, maybe other things they want to do in terms of continuity stuff and then Elseworld stuff. I'm not really sure. But anyways, guys, let's dive in. Let's see what happens here. I've been on record on my, thoughts and issues with this, but let's see what happens. Let's go into part 1, knowing that there's going to be 2 more movies in this. They're going to be releasing this year, so let's dive in, guys, see what happens. Crisis Part 1. Let's go. Oh.
It's the beginning, he said.
What?
Before the beginning.
Here you go. Huh?
Oh, Iris.
Slow-mo.
I'm Barry Allen, by the way. Look, this may sound crazy, but would you like to go out for lunch?
You aren't programmed to harm.
Wait, what?
Mazo? How do you know it's...
I don't know.
Okay, fine. He drained the energy out of me. If he gets yours, don't worry.
It's done.
Keep my distance.
Green Arrow? Yep.
Come on.
Wait, this is tying into that after credit sequence. What?
The worlds are ending.
Really? Which one?
Really?
What's your name? Dick. I'm Barry.
Not really.
Is this a way to explain how we're getting to Crisis so fast, maybe?
Poor kid. He seems comfortable with you. You have means, plenty of room.
Yeah.
Have you considered?
Have you?
maybe what?
Fostering him. I'm not convinced he can die.
Oh, I like that answer. I'm not convinced he can. He has files on everybody. Contingency, I saw the contingency files.
Well, I would have figured out yours too.
This should help you more than the coffee.
The sun.
Bruce, I'm sorry about all of this. Nagging me to form some kind of
Team.
secret superhero club.
It is a terrible idea. Nevertheless, it's exactly what we're going to do.
Shit, they're all showing up. Jesus. Okay, this makes sense. I'm like, who is this? Marshman Hunter, okay. Hal. Okay. Join the Justice League, Hal.
Dubbed the Earth 3.
Earth 3? Okay.
Okay, this looks more familiar.
It's Crime Syndicate. I mean, I should have thought because Earth 3, it's Crime Syndicate.
Crikey's like running with cement machines. Use them half the speed force.
Not only are we thrilled that this fine city
Justice
would welcome
League.
our newly formed team of
Yep.
heroes.
Yay.
Perhaps reveal the name of this exciting first ever super team.
Justice League.
Justice League.
The Justice League.
Another vehicle. Ooh.
A projectile endangers Batman. Please clarify your inquiry.
Why are you so concerned for our safety while you're in the
Yeah,
middle
while
of
you're
an attack
attacking.
on us?
Oh, shit.
Mission parameters indicate that Superman is not human.
What?
Your new best friend, I presume.
Oh.
Thank you, Justice League.
Eat rockets. And that's not gonna do anything. I mean...
Luthor's battlesuit complicates this situation.
What? Maybe I'm wrong. Okay.
You're in the Hall of Crime.
Hall of Crime. They're jumping around a lot here.
Questioning
Oh.
here.
It's true!
He's telling the truth.
Our nemesis, Alexander Luthor, theorized about such worlds.
Okay.
Luthor.
What the fuck, dude? Okay.
None of this makes any sense.
A new world to conquer. Armies to crush.
Yeah, you can't fucking conquer the Earth. Good luck.
He lives.
I can't do anything. I think I know who this is. It's Constantine. I should have known.
You're in a tuxedo.
Very observant. You know, I
Jumping
sometimes
around
forget
time,
what
man.
it
This
does.
is a lot.
Slow down. That's got to last
Oh.
the whole reception. I need to tell you about the Flash.
You mean Jay Garrick?
Look, when I came back from Earth
Oh.
3 with all its Speed Force, Ivo. You're Anthony Ivo.
Yes.
It takes him a second to get into the moment of each time he travels.
He only wants to help. Lex
Well,
programmed himself.
I don't know. He seems confused,
Someone
obviously.
who wants to help.
Nothing you can do about it. Uh-oh. I feel bad for this Earth, but at the same time, it's a Syndicate Earth, so...
This world already dead.
You're a regular Sadie Sunbeam, aren't you?
I walk all worlds that are doomed to die.
Jesus.
My punishment. You share my guilt.
It is tying in the New 52 era.
I'm surprised that someone with your mental acumen would see the
Don't say this, because he'll do something.
these meta freaks.
So those videos over all of them, like, oh. What's that gonna do? Oh, shit.
You are not a friend. Your action shortened Professor Ivo's life.
The Justice League, then?
Yes. The Justice League. Yes. He's an older Barry.
Get a move on. Breakfast is ready.
Since when do you make breakfast?
Since it's our special day. Sausage and peas, French fries, white toast, apple pie.
Oh, the first time they met in the restaurant or whatever.
Who knows? What do we do about it?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
This is the thing.
Yeah, I figured.
Look, it's okay, everybody.
Calm down.
This is...
I am Harbinger. You're collecting all the heroes, is that right? Yes.
Well,
we've got Green Arrow, Vixen, Green Lantern right here.
Batgirl! I saw Batgirl! Oh, there's so many characters. Holy crap. I saw Peacemaker. Holy crap, dude. There's so many. Aquaman.
Flash.
Who's that?
I hail from an Earth almost completely covered by water.
Nice.
Surface dwellers.
Oh.
It's Dick. Dick Grayson. Robin?
The Flying Graysons.
This is the Huntress. Helena Wayne.
Dad?
Oh!
Well, Dad's been gone for a few years now, and it's just nice to see his face.
Are you a sight for sore eyes?
Oh.
This is Clark Kent from Earth One. You have a lot in common.
I guess we do.
Who is that? Exactly.
Will Everett. Amazing man.
Oh.
Are you
Oh.
kidding me? What did you do to me?
Gave you your powers.
As the monitor ordered.
Metal Men? Is that the Metal Men down there? I think? Or am I wrong? Wow. Jake Eric. So many characters.
I don't understand.
I have broken sacred vows. Due to a peril so dire, it threatens all realities. Most of you are aware that you live in a reality that runs parallel to many possible versions. I've gathered you all together in hope that
To stop it
we can
somehow.
find some way to stop this disaster.
That thing's as slow as molasses in January. I know why you still put that raggedy old thing on. Because you still look damn good in it.
The wave. It's over.
My plan is I'm gonna punch that antimatter wall so hard, it's gonna shatter into a million pieces.
Oh, he's going towards it too. Okay, so they're just gonna go die. Okay. Oh. You're done. Sorry, man. Also notice how the Harbinger didn't bring any of them that we know of. Nuclear destruct? That ain't gonna do nothing either.
I've gathered you all and hope that together we can find some way to stop this disaster.
I have many questions.
Questions.
It would be strange indeed if you did not.
Why should we believe any of this? You kidnap us, show us a movie, and tell us we
A
need
movie.
to obey you in order to save the world.
And why Earth? The universe is massive beyond comprehension.
The Earth is the first world destroyed in every universe.
Oh.
Once it
Okay.
falls,
Look, I was on one of the Earths that was swallowed by this wave.
This is a think tank.
A think tank.
there's an antimatter avalanche headed for our worlds, but we can neither summon more allies here nor escape.
That shot though, them running together, my god. Ooh. Done for. Damn. What's he doing exactly?
This is a brainstorming session, not a debate.
It's a goddamn crisis, princess.
Oh yeah.
A massive vibrational generator on each of the Earths.
Like a colossal cosmic tuning fork.
Earth 46. Okay. Or 146. Never mind. Sorry. My mic was in the way.
Hey,
Working together.
A wave, any kind of wave, cannot just accelerate.
It can.
Born witness to the universe.
The anomaly became aware of our plans and adapted.
Impossible.
Run to her.
To her.
I won't let you go.
Statement in flash time. This explains so much now. Okay.
Don't you get all sexist on me. I already am home. Wherever
Dude.
you are, we're almost finished. Besides, we've had the whole world all to ourselves all these years.
Just want to say,
Dad, Bruce, it's okay.
That was cool. Okay, let's go. Come on.
In 10, 9, 8.
Oh. Oh shit. Oh shit. They don't realize the cost that Barry, had to go through.
you didn't believe it could be done.
No.
Oh shit. Miz is gone too. Damn, Barry lost a lot. Jesus. Oh. So they did have their... So they did finish their wedding. Okay. Oh.
Brady, Brainiac 5, come in. There's something wrong with Dawnstar.
The whole world, Kara.
What?
The universe, maybe. It's all vanishing.
She's the only one who's still around. Is that it? Are you seriously ending it there, really? There you have it, guys. That was Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. There's a lot of things I have to say, and I do apologize if I forget to mention something, because a lot of things are happening in this film, in this Part 1. But the main thing is this. This is really a Barry and Iris story. Well, more so focusing on Barry, because he's jumping through time, right? He's jumping through time, and he has to, take a second to remember what's going on, and I'm thinking part of this was for us to start understanding the concept of what they're doing with the storytelling and how they're going to be jumping back and forth between different moments in Barry's life, right? Because we have the whole thing with Amazo, and then we keep jumping back to that, and then when he goes to Earth 3, Crime Syndicate, we keep jumping back to that, and how that ties into Crisis, and how here comes the antimatter wave and everything. And then you have, of course, finding out that Barry has basically took him and Iris into flash time, essentially, where slowing everything down all these years to complete the towers. And it's successful, but then it backfires majorly. Now, before I dive into kind of like my thoughts on some of the storytelling, just overall thoughts in general, and then, because I'm actually going to have a review separate for this to go up the day of the release, and this will go up later. But after seeing the complete film, and not just like at certain points stopping and thinking about my thoughts on the film, after seeing everything and how some of it ties into the narratives and how they're kind of blending the storylines together, because some things were like, what's Amazo's connection to all this? I will say this was, I think, handled solid. Like, in terms of this movie was solid. In terms of, like, all the different storylines they're trying to keep up with, all the different timeline stuff they're trying to keep up with. It could have been better, because I think one of the big things is that, yes, Amazo has a purpose later on, but I feel like his introduction in terms of what he was doing in terms of fighting the Justice League and then eventually working for Lex Luthor giving him orders and everything, could have been heavily cut down or completely reworked to where we introduce Amazo in a shorter way, and then we make it a point to really tie in later as it does. Because it makes sense why they introduced Amazo, but they spent way too much time on it. They could have easily cut that down and spent more time on the Harbinger or the Monitor, bringing forth these heroes, and then spending more time introducing the Crisis element. We also had a older kind of, I don't even know, an older kind of time travel-y Constantine that did tell Barry that I don't know exactly what I did, but I have guilt for what's going on here, and you share some of that. This is definitely tying into the New 52 era stuff. Because the New 52 era films, of course, got the reset and everything after Dark Side Apocalypse War and everything at the end of that last film. So there's a lot of things they were trying to do with this movie. But as the film was going on and as they started to connect storylines and stuff together, and the timeline thing and understanding and following what's happening here, it started to make more sense. Now, thankfully we have 2 more movies, because I don't think there's any way they could have done a version of Crisis in one film, even though this film is an hour and a half, including credits, but it's an hour and a half, pretty lengthy. I'm glad there's 2 more films, so we have plenty more time to expand upon this story, clearly based on how they end this film. They're setting up, of course, what part 2 is going to be about, because Kara, it seems, is by herself, because everyone else is basically taken away, including the Monitor as well, because I think this whole idea of, like, the timeline's been changed and everything is shifted because of the actual towers working now. Everything's kind of backfiring. Things are changing. I don't know. I was also expecting, because they were kind of theorizing on how the antimatter wave accelerated, I thought they were going to show off the anti-monitor. But I'm guessing they're waiting for part 2. I'm guessing they're waiting for part 2 to showcase the anti-monitor and all that. So in terms of, like, overall, like I said, the film, it could have been better, but I had a pretty solid time with it, and it wasn't, like, as more and more stuff was intertwining and things started to make more sense, but okay. But my main point is they could have reworked some stuff, but I think the Barry and Iris element and stuff and what they were doing with them specifically in terms of their love story and how it's all tying in, and the flash time where they're all working together, like both of them were working together to finish the tower all these years, and she does pass away and everything. It was all flowing decently. Like I said, it could have been better. I do like all the variety of heroes they brought in that were kind of in the background. A lot of them just kind of got a line. Some didn't get a line at all in terms of, like, dialogue wise, but it makes sense because you have so many characters, it's impossible. And they also make a point, the Monitor's like, you can't bring anybody else here, because they were going to bring in Brainiac 5. He's like, nope, the way this is working, you can try maybe communicate, which Kara did end up talking to Brainiac 5 for like a smidge before he ultimately disappeared. But they can't bring anybody else, which I feel like, I mean, if Harbinger can go around and grab as many heroes as possible, I would realistically think they could just keep grabbing heroes. They could keep grabbing people that make sense, right? I would think. But apparently not. So, the Crime Syndicate stuff, I feel like that could have been shortened a little bit as well. I feel like, because I get the whole point, because they're not going to trust Barry, you know, who shows up and everything, and he's actually a hero speedster. And of course they find out that he's telling the truth, and here comes the antimatter wave. But I feel like they could have maybe shortened up a little bit of that, because I feel like with them ultimately just dying the way they do, when they really don't because to me they really don't impact the story. The only thing they really do is that with showcasing that Barry is faster because it's only him and Johnny Quick, I think that's his name, from Crime Syndicate. They're the only ones accessing the Speed Force on Earth 3, that he's faster, but then it has to be, you know, Johnny has to pass away. He has to die through the antimatter wave for Barry to get out of that Earth, to travel past and get out of Earth 3 before it gets destroyed. So that makes sense, because he wouldn't have been able to jump to another Earth without him having to die. But just having the Crime Syndicate just fly in and try to stop the antimatter wave, it's like, okay, if their whole purpose in this version of the narrative is just to die, and they're not really going to really make an impact besides Barry getting there, and then, you know, being showed Crisis and showed, like, these images from Constantine, they could have easily cut their involvement in the film down significantly, or completely reworked how Barry finds out about Crisis and everything, because just having the Crime Syndicate there really didn't impact the story personally for me. It was just like, oh, this is just showing that, okay, here comes the wave, the antimatter wave, and we're going to show how stubborn these idiots are, and they're going to die. It's not really necessary, in my opinion, because what really matters is a part of the storyline is bringing together all these heroes from all these different Earths. If the Crime Syndicate, it would be different if the Crime Syndicate was actually pulled for some reason, like at least one or two of them, or maybe the whole group was pulled in by Harbinger to there with the rest of the heroes because they were needed for some reason. Just spitballing here. That would make more sense why they're introduced. But them just being in this movie, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But it was cool to see Crime Syndicate, sure, but it really didn't matter ultimately to the story. I mean, what really was the point was that Barry's like, well, I was on an Earth that got destroyed. Like, he got the lasso of truth from Wonder Woman when they're all meeting and everything with the Monitor. That made sense for the story because that's how they told it. So we had to have, okay, well, Barry did witness it. Barry, like, this is true, because the question was like, I have a lot of questions, and Monitor's like, well, I mean, it would be weird if you didn't. So that's how they tied it in. But the Crime Syndicate stuff could have been heavily cut down or completely reworked to where Barry finds out another reason or another Earth or something that maybe has more of an impact. Because all the Crime Syndicate was there to do was, okay, Barry's like, yeah, lasso truth me. Yeah, I saw an Earth get destroyed and everything, and I was there. That's it. And Constantine, and that was the Earth that Constantine showed him. But Constantine travels many Earths, so at any other point, Barry could have found out about Crisis and seen these images, right? The way that Constantine shows them. Could have been done either way. So yeah, I think the Batman stuff, meeting with Helena and older Dick Grayson, was kind of interesting, in their little dialogue back and forth when he calls them up or whatever when the antimatter wave's coming. That was a nice moment. You know, Batman doesn't have a lot of emotions, but that was a nice little moment. I think they handled a lot of the main characters that had like actual dialogue and actually some scenes solid. Some of them were just kind of there. I mean, you know, because I think that's the issue. I mean, I might have a difference of opinion once we get into part 2 and part 3 and actually see the entirety of the trilogy of Crisis. Maybe that'll make me have a different opinion on how they handle, because some of the characters are just kind of like, oh, they're there, they have a line or two, and but others, I think it may, like the 2 Superman meeting, that was really cool. Seeing both Superman that we've seen meet up for the first time, that was really cool to see that. Seeing Batgirl, even though she didn't speak or say anything, but they had a Batgirl there, that was cool. But yeah, so Crisis Part 1 had some things going for it that worked. things could have been reworked, in my opinion, in terms of the Amazo, the Crime Syndicate stuff. But I think the Barry and Iyer stuff is the most important part of it, because I feel like that was their kind of, like, that was one of the main story points that they were kind of sticking with, is their relationship and their dynamic, and Barry traveling through time and everything, of course, in Crisis. So it all worked out in terms of what they were trying to accomplish. Not everything, of course, worked, but it worked out for the most part for me, and I had a pretty good time with this. So it wasn't a complete dumpster fire. I figured it wouldn't be, but I was kind of worried that it was going to be all over the place, or just a lot of stuff happening and it's hard to follow. And at points it was, but then it started to make more sense as you go through the film. So that's good. So yeah, so that's part one. I'm curious to see what part two is going to bring. I'm curious how they're going to, like, what their approach is going to be for part two, because you would think part two is going to be more intense, but I don't know, because we don't know exactly what all occurred and who was all taken, because all we know is that it seems Kara's alone on that version of the Watchtower from the Monitor. No idea. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so that was part one. So what did you guys think of part one of Crisis? I'm curious to know your thoughts, guys. Whatever thoughts you have, guys, let me know in the comments below. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.